Stanisci of Candid Frank Live. Welcome to the Spanglish World Network on Zingo TV, channel 250. Please remember to download the Zingo TV app at the respective app stores for iOS and Android devices. While you download, make sure you rate, leave a comment. Both apps are absolutely free. Zingo TV is available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Fire TV sticks, Roku sticks, and also on all smart TVs 2016 forward. Now on Candid Frank Live, joining me is AWF. That's not the first three letters of awful. That's Aaron William Freeland. Hey,
Oh,
Aaron, how you
hey,
doing?
I'm doing well, Frank. How are you?
I think I was putting a sticker on my van. I should have turned it off before I did that.
Oh,
A little high. No, just kidding. Yeah, so here it is, another wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Don't you love Wednesdays?
I do. It's the middle of the week and lets me know I'm that much closer to the weekend.
And does it hold this hump day thing? Like I'm gonna ask you. Today's Wednesday. What the heck is hump day? Like I don't know. I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Well, it's a colloquial term for the middle of the week, right? You got to get over the hump before you start rolling downhill towards the weekend.
Ah,
Yeah,
so in other words, it's halfway to the weekend
exactly.
and halfway past the weekend.
Exactly.
Therefore, the hump.
Exactly.
Now, for some people who live split shifts, for them they have a two camel hump,
This is true.
right? So it's hump day's different for different people, I suppose. All right, let's jump right into it and let's start with the sports and let's start with the team that I I have notifications for the Blue Jays because I'm just in case a nice trade comes through or something, right? And
Mhm.
all I got the last couple of days is ding, 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 ding. Why? Because they had all these arbitration contracts they signed to avoid arbitration. And then you have to do a double take because you look, all right, they signed him for $2 million. What? How does he get? No, it's a $2 million bonus, so they don't go to arbitration.
It's kind of handy that way.
It
But
works.
yeah, 11 different players actually managed to get contracts. So I mean, you got Vladdy who's signing for 7.9 million. Then you also have three-time Golden Glove winner Matt Chapman, who got a 2-year deal for 25. You've got Kevin Biggio, who got 2.113. Ryan Borucki got 825 grand. Adam Simmer got 1.575. Teoscar Hernandez got 10.65. Danny Jansen got 1.95. Meza got 1.25. And right-handers Trevor Moss and Ross Stripling, Trevor Richards and Ross Stripling got 1 million and 3.79 each. And last but not least, Trent Thornton with 850. Now, I'm looking to see what happens with Teoscar. I'm convinced that they've got to lock him up long term.
And they should too.
I mean, this gets them through the arbitration period, right? So they now have the opportunity to sit down and work with his agent on something slightly more long term. So that's a bit of a relief.
Well, left-handed bats. That's another issue that they need. They need left-handed bats. They've got the last lineup I looked at was 7 right-handed bats, 2 left-handed bats. So yeah, I think that calls in. You know, we didn't talk about. What do you think of the idea of the DH in both leagues?
I actually like that idea, and one of the proposed changes was if your pitcher is DHing, in particular for the National League, if you take your pitcher out of the game, he can still DH.
A guy like Shotani.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not only is he still a threat at the plate, but he's also a threat throwing to the plate. So that's
right.
Cake and eat it too in this particular case.
They can take his bat out of the lineup, but they don't have to take his arm out of the lineup, or they don't have to take his bat out of the lineup because they want to take the arm out of the lineup. So it's a win-win situation, and it's about time. In all honesty, it's about time. And I think the Players Association knows that that's almost like an extra job because pitchers pitch, hitters hit, and if you make it so pitchers don't have to hit, that's an extra hitter job.
Nope, this is very true.
So it's a good deal for the players. Toronto Blue Jays they're using boop 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 machine. Have you seen it? Did you see it?
I have. It's actually pretty
Me
neat.
too.
It's a little thing called a pitch comm, and there's actually a bone conduction speaker that goes into the pitcher's hat
Hat.
band
Yep.
on the inside, and all the catcher has to do is key in the different combinations on a little wrist thing that he's got, and it buzzes it directly to him and tells the pitcher where to throw it.
Yeah.
So
Low outside, curveball inside. All those lovely little things that they can do. The only thing that the first bug that they got to work on is when a pitcher calls off a pitch, right? Then there might be they have to go back to hand signals a little bit, but it's all stuff they're going to work out, and this purportedly is going to help in speeding up the game.
well, I mean, that's the idea. If you don't have to go to the mound in order to recalibrate your signals, that sort of thing, then yeah, it's definitely an advantage. I'm just wondering if the pitcher shakes it off, does it go recalculating?
That's
Recalculating.
exactly what it does. And the other thing I'd like to know is, does it mispronounce words?
I guess that all depends on who you get doing it, right?
Curveball.
Ontario.
We one of my favorites is Dufferin Street.
Turn
Just
left
so-
on her Ontario Street.
Yeah, we've got another one here. Oh shoot. Oh geez. Never mind. Oh man. When I remember, I'll point out it. The pronunciation does not match the spelling. It makes no sense. All right. So in soccer, now, okay, well, we can talk about the team playing tomorrow to basically. Well, we'll talk about it now, and then we'll talk about the other thing. So we've got the Canadian national team playing Costa Rica tomorrow. The game's on at 10 o'clock, folks. So get a nap before the game so you can watch the game. Somewhere between the beginning of the game, around halftime, because the other game with Panama will be being played at the same time, but starting a little earlier, Canada could know if they're in or not, and then guarantee they're in by beating Costa Rica. What do you think?
I think it's definitely a very interesting situation, and it's going to be reminiscent for some Leafs fans of clock watching at the end of the season to try to see if we've made the playoffs or not.
Now, staying into soccer, Woodbine Entertainment, new soccer facility. What the heck's up with that?
Yeah, this is an interesting development. It's just something that I caught my eye. I thought it was rather interesting, but apparently, in an effort to try to, with Canada obviously on the brink of qualifying for the 2022 FIFA Men's World Cup, and the national team's Olympic gold medal win, and Canada hosting part of the 2026 World Cup, that this is just the right time for Woodbine to strike. So the idea is that they're going to put these soccer venues on Woodbine's property within walking distance of the racetrack. So you can turn it into a full day sort of thing, go bet on the ponies, watch the guys kick it around. It's supposed to be a full soccer stadium along with a 38,000 square foot training facility with a grass surface that would meet the professional standards established by FIFA.
And who might be playing there? I mean, TFC has a place already. Is there another team somewhere close by that? What do you think? I'm. This has caught me by surprise in that regard.
Well, part of the thinking I think was that it's going to be just an 8,000 seat facility, so it's going to be on the slightly smaller side. But it would
CPL
be,
team?
well, that's one of the thoughts that are being floated, specifically York United,
Yes.
who are currently playing at Lions Stadium at York University. So,
Which is another new stadium.
yes,
'Cause
yeah,
they just built
relatively
that
new.
one.
But yeah, the
Oh, that's
thinking is, it could be a venue there as well as an alternative site for York United to play at or practice at. So they'd have tenants.
I don't doubt that it's necessary and that it'll be used. The popularity of soccer is, or European football, or whatever you want to call the sport, is rising. And this whole thing with Team Canada, the Canadian team making the World Cup, that's only going to enhance what we've seen following the team. Aaron, it's been a marvel, the fan base that is gathering steam, along with this team.
Now, another thing to consider about this as well, Frank, just going back just a little bit here.
Yeah.
The thought is also to try to bring a professional women's league to Canada. So that is the potential thinking behind having that facility at Woodbine as well, as that could be an additional facility. But as far as I'm concerned, any opportunity for a more professional venue for these teams and for more people to go to see them is all to the good. And the growing number of Canadian fans is ample proof of that.
And I'm just wondering if they have it ready for the World Cup that'll be hosted here by Canada, U.S., and Mexico. Um, will it? There's always the opportunity where they can add temporary seating,
There is that as well. And
right?
I think if it's built on the facilities by Woodbine, they're looking to get a little bit of double dipping going on as well. Because not only will you have the additional facilities that you can build there, but it's also a way to attract people to the racetrack as well. Now, the other thing to consider is that York Lions Stadium is not only used by the university and York United, it's also used by the Toronto Arrows of Major League Rugby. So there is also the opportunity then for the Toronto Arrows to get out of there. Also, there's talks of potentially bringing the Toronto Wolfpack back. So that is another team that could potentially use that venue as well.
Which the amount of seats would be more,
We'd be just about perfect for it.
right? Because that's what we're talking about too, right?
Yeah.
Did they say how many seats? Is it like 10, 8?
About
12?
8,000. About
8,000?
8,000, which is about Lamport sized.
Yeah, I just guessed, but it's that range, that amount of seats and the accommodation that it'll be, and it will reflect the rent and the cost for the team as well, right?
Exactly.
Over purchase is not a good idea. Buy within your means, I guess. All right, so that takes care of soccer. Let's go to hockey, which is now, the trade business is done, and now we're in the home stretch. And right now, going into the home stretch, Calgary's on fire. And in fact, they're lighting a fire under some insurers. What's up with that, man?
So as it currently stands, Calgary Flames Entertainment is suing its insurers for $125 million for massive losses the company says it suffered over 2 hockey seasons because of the pandemic. The lawsuit basically described Flames fan attendance as the lifeblood of the organization's revenue. 1 year before the pandemic hit, revenues exceeded $187 million, according to the claim. But they're saying that due to the pandemic, the company started to incur financial losses as a result of COVID-19, which they said that their insurers were supposed to step up and help them out with. Now, it's important to note that this is the Calgary Flames organization as a whole, not the actual hockey team itself, but the parent organization.
Yeah, okay.
So
The one that owns the football team, the lacrosse
yeah,
team,
exactly,
blah, blah, blah,
exactly.
blah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
there's
makes sense.
Yeah, I mean they're suing Westport, Royal and Sun Alliance, Liberty Mutual, Aviva, Northbridge, and Canshore Underwriting. Now, statements of defense have not yet been filed, but yeah, the whole issue that they have here is the 5 Flames players who contracted the virus and the super spreader events that were held at the Calgary Saddle Dome. So they're looking at that.
Yeah. So in essence, what they're saying is that it was through no fault of their own. Their business was hurt, and they're saying that the insurance company has an obligation to underwrite those losses because it's part of the coverage. They're saying the coverage is there. The insurance company, of course, is going to come back with their best effort to suggest that this is not a situation that we feel we need to pay for. So it's going to go to lawyers. But I guess with $125 million at stake, there'll be some good lawyers involved.
Well, somebody's going to be getting rich off this. And yeah, I think the Flames organization's argument is, yeah, it's supposed to protect us against lost revenue if we can't use our arena. This pandemic happens to fall under that, to which the insurers will probably reply, yeah, but you're also warned that it would be dangerous to have people in the arena, and yet you continue to do so. So,
Blah, blah, blah. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Late rally powers San Jose past the Calgary Flames.
Yeah, this was actually a little bit of a surprise. I don't think that they expected that. But the San Jose Sharks scored 2 goals 28 seconds apart in the third period to win 4-3. It was Logan Couture that finally put the dagger in. Vlasic, Timo Meyer, and Barabanov also scored for San Jose. They're looking to sweep their 2-game road trip to Alberta when they play Edmonton on Thursday night.
If you're an Ottawa fan in the central part of the United States, you have gripes apparently. What's up with that?
Well, young gentleman by the name of Cale Bear was sitting down at his home in Ashland, Kansas, population 900, said he wanted to watch a little PBR or professional bull riding. But the bull riding channel was showing an NHL game instead, and it was a quarterfinal game between the Ottawa Senators and the Pittsburgh Penguins. And this is back in 2007.
Oh my God. That's when they went to the final, I think.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Wasn't that the year?
Yeah, and he said that was the night he decided to root for Ottawa and kind of fell in love, but sometimes he regrets it.
Sometimes. Hey, so tell me this business here. Varlamov, Mayfield help Islanders beat Senators 3-0. Since when has Mayfield gone from the Cleveland Browns to the New York Islanders? Oh, different Mayfield. Oh,
different
sorry.
Mayfield. Yeah, this is Scott, not Baker.
No, okay. My mistake. Sorry.
But
getting my football mixed up with my hockey.
That's okay. Zach Parise actually got a goal as well. So there's a blast from the past for you.
Yeah. His dad played for Team Canada against Russia in those 72 games.
Yep. But
not
yeah, that was
72, 1972 games to make.
And that was Varlamov's 35th career shutout. So that's an interesting little side note there. So that's quite a few shutouts for Varlamov. So I'm happy for him for that. But again, despite the score, it was still an entertaining game to watch. Ottawa fought hard. It just didn't quite work out.
If you're bothered by wearing a mask, you can wear one not at Ottawa Senators games now.
That's correct. The Ottawa Senators are no longer asking fans to mask up. This is actually going to be as of their next home game. So the next time they're playing, you won't have to worry about it. This is what you expected to see. A lot of the wording that the Senators actually used in their post was that it's not necessary for you to wear a mask, but we strongly recommend it. They're not saying it's mandated right now. They're still saying though that it is a mask-friendly venue, just like Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment is now calling all of their locations now mask-friendly.
Not required.
No, required.
Marchand scores game winner. Bruins down the Canadiens. Montreal figures doesn't help the Maple Leafs at all.
No, I mean, you kind of expect our longstanding rival to do something like that to us, though. But yeah, Marchand had 2, so that was a little frustrating. He still proves himself to be a decent player, even if he's not the kind of person that you'd have over for dinner. But it is what it is. Martin St. Louis said he was proud of what his team left on the ice. Kent Hughes had traded away Arturi Lehkonen, Brett Kulak, and Andrew Hammond hours prior to that game, but they did manage to keep it close. So
Hellebuyck made 42 saves. Golden Knights lose 4-0 to the Jets.
Now, we've always said this, Frank, that the Jets will only go so far as Hellebuyck takes them, and he certainly seems to be warming up a little bit now. Ehlers and Scheifele each had a goal and an assist for Winnipeg. Pierre-Luc Dubois and Neil Pionk also scored, and Blake Wheeler and Kyle Connor each chipped in with 2 assists each. So this is Hellebuyck's 28th shutout for his career. So they're always, they're still in the wild card race at this point, just barely hanging on. So
this guy Justin by Aber designed a couple of hockey shirts for the Leafs. What do you think?
I'm actually not that mad at it, to be perfectly honest.
Do you like the one with the 2 eyeballs or not? The yellow face.
I personally think it's not my cup of tea, but this jersey wasn't designed for me. It wasn't designed for you either, right? It's designed for what the Maple Leafs call their next gen games, and they've been doing this for 4 or 5 years.
If it had a smile at the bottom, it might be for me, but then it would look like
that's fair.
a
But the word,
emoticon.
but the word Leafs is in a curve to sort of look like a smile.
Yeah.
So,
True.
but yeah, I mean, it's not for me. It's for kids whose parents have too much disposable income. But
And
it's
for
actually
people
pretty
who want to
neat.
brag about a sunny disposition.
Well, on the blue and black side of it, inside the actual armbands on the sleeves, they've actually worked in the silhouette of the Toronto City skyline,
Oh,
which I
nice.
think is pretty neat. It's one of those little understated things that you're not necessarily going to catch unless you're actually looking closely at it.
Or if you
And
buy
the other
one.
side is black and gold and sort of sticking with the whole October's very own and that sort of thing. I personally think it confirms the Leafs are moving to Hamilton sometime in the near future, but that's just me.
Buffalo will never put up with it. And I'm not sure Ajax will like the idea.
Well,
Or
I don't know if you actually watched the All-Star game, but the jerseys were actually leaked a couple weeks back.
Yes.
So,
And people were a little irritated by that.
what are you gonna do?
Whatever they can. All right, so goaltending. They play on Thursday. Goaltending defense. Is it going to improve on the long term, you think?
Well, I mean, with them picking up Giordano, that's definitely somebody to help them out. It's sort of another stabilizing presence on the back end. And I know that we discussed this in our trade wrap-up show on Monday. But looking at how everything is playing out and how they've actually had their line set up for the past couple of practices, I'm actually liking the way that it's all sort of panning out.
It's ironic, really, because they're going left, right on defense because of the injury, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be a left-hand shooting defenseman on the right side, but he's hurt. So we'll see what happens with that. Now the goaltender is on the ice. I guess the question is, was his health the issue? Was it physical health or mental health? And has this break in the action given Campbell a chance to recharge and restart?
I'm certainly hoping it has done that for him. Lord knows he needs it. Just throwing a guy who's traditionally been a backup into the starter's role, like Leafs have done, is never kind to anyone, and least of all goalies, just because we tend to put more pressure on ourselves than other people. So, I mean, as it currently stands, Muzzin is currently on the IR. Kasha's out with a concussion. Rasmus Sandin is out with a lower body injury. Jack Campbell is still technically listed as being on the injured reserve list because of his ribs. But the fact that he's out there, at least getting some ice time in is not a bad thing. I'm actually really jazzed about the defensive pairs that they're running. They're running Riley Lyobushkin, Brody Hall, and Giordano Liljegren. So I'd be interested to see how that plays out tonight.
It's going to be interesting. Biden's off to Brussels.
Yeah, this is another one of them overseas meetings, sort of shake the hands, do a bit of a press junket, and at the same time, mention the new sanctions and how that's going to play into what NATO is going to be doing out there. So this is an opportunity for him to familiarize them with that.
Former Toronto police chief running.
Yep, he'll be running for the PCs. In no surprise whatsoever, we have a police officer who's running for the Conservatives. Go figure.
Wow. And a police chief to boot.
Yep.
Ontario putting $91 million into electric vehicle charging stations.
Yeah, so this is another one of those sort of, hey, we're giving you greenies what you want. They're trying to participate in building at least 400,000 electric vehicles and hybrids and establishing a battery production facility. So part and parcel with that is going to be installing electrical stuff at en route rest stops by this summer, apparently, is what they're planning on doing.
Quebec budget extending more health care money.
Yeah, so this is going to cost the Quebec government about $3.6 billion. They're giving everybody a $500 check just to sort of help them compensate for, lost wages and that sort of thing. And because of the way the province has been recovering, they feel they can do that.
Alberta is going to finally do the cleanup. Their government, the provincial government, has decided to spend some money on the cleanup that was promised all the oil fields.
Yeah, and again, this program is actually slated to spend about $580 million and create about 2,800 jobs, and that's by the end of the year. And again, this is one of those things. Kenny's leadership is up for review. That's going to a mail-in vote shortly. So this is them basically trying to say, "Hey, we're not that bad. Give us a shot."
Absolutely. Thanks, Aaron, for this.
Thank you, Frank.
For Aaron William Freeland, I'm Candid Frank Stanisci. Thank you for watching Candid Frank Live, airing Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. This show can also be heard on the Spanglish World Radio Network. For Candid Frank Live, other news, entertainment, and sports programming we offer, please check out SpanglishWorld.ca. Spanglish World. Watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Ciao for now. Ciao.